Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here for the Thermal Web Design team, and I've got a couple cards to showcase today. So I have pulled out some new products by Deco Foil. These are the toner card fronts in artsy prints, and I have pulled out several sheets. I actually pulled out 3 different colors of the new transfer foils as well. I pulled out this rainbow one, then we've got silver sparkle and gold sparkle. All 3 of these are brand new in the Thermal Web shop, so make sure you grab those. And I'm actually only going to be creating cards with 2 of these, but I was actually going to a crop, so I foiled these actually before I left, so I didn't have to take my laminator with me, as it was really the only project that I planned on working on that had foil involved at the crop. So I just kind of prepped a few of these before I left, and I didn't actually get to them at the crop. I did mostly layouts there, 12 by 12 layouts. So I actually just finished these up whenever I got home. So I have the rainbow one here coming out. You can see how pretty and sparkly that turns out. I love the way that these look. The rainbow one really caught my eye, but I ended up just using the gold sparkle and the silver sparkle for my cards. You can see I'm kind of doing a chain foil here is what I call it, where I kind of shove the next one in right as the other one is coming through, just to get them all through quickly, and they come out pretty fast. I mean, this laminator is the Fuse foiling system by Gina K Designs. It's actually pretty quick. It's one of the quicker laminators that I've seen on the market, and it does smaller designs like this. So I'm using the smaller 6-inch craft and carrier sheet along with it. So all I do is I just sandwich that in between that craft and carrier sheet and put the foil on top. You want the silver side down on your toner card front, so the pretty side of it, the design side of the foil, is going to be up facing you. I just pulled out a few little chicken stamps here that I have from a Stampin' Up stamp set, and these are some birthday sayings that I'm going to use from that same stamp set, along with some Distress Oxides. So I'm using Speckled Egg and Evergreen Bough on this one, so this one's going to look pretty greenish, and then the other one I'm going to pull a couple blue shades out to do a blue card as well. I have lots of summer birthdays for kids coming up. As always, every year we get hit pretty hard in between the months of May through July with birthdays. So I usually try to stock up on some cards around this time of the year so that I'm good to go all summer. So these 2 cards are going to be some really super fun birthday cards. I'm just grabbing a paper towel to just wipe off the toner portion of this. Since it's already foiled, I wanted to make sure I wiped off all of that extra ink off of that foiled design. It didn't hurt my foiled design at all. It still looks just as fabulous as it came out of my laminating machine. If you are to do that, I do suggest letting your foil cool before actually wiping it off, just to protect that foiled design. I would just let that cool off before wiping it. So I've got these 2 blue colors here. I'm doing the same effect where I'm creating kind of like an ombre effect on these cards, where I'm using the lighter shade in the middle and then the darker one around the outside. I'm actually going to cut out a circle on my manual die cutting machine as well to go right in the center. So it will be like an accent point and kind of like an anchor point to where I will put my little chicken designs. I'm going to go ahead and pull some Copic markers out. You can see my baby girl here is hanging out on my desk. She'll be here for the duration of the video, hanging out with me, and she's just watching TV, so she's just kind of chilling next to me while I grab these markers and color in these cute little chickens. I've got some various shades here and some yellows. I'm going to use a blue one on the little polka dots on his little shorts, and I'm going to pull out some reds too, because I want to do the other chicken in a little bit redder of a shade. So we'll see how these come out here in a minute. And there you go. There's what they look like all finished up and cut out. So I just cut around my chickens and my little birthday phrases as well, so I could pop them onto my cards. Here's my card bases coming in. They're just white today, and I am just using my bone folder to just fold them in half and create a nice crease. And then I am going to adhere these onto my toner card fronts, or adhere rather my toner card fronts to my card bases using some easy tear tape. And then I wanted to do those circle accents in white. So I've grabbed some textured white cardstock and some of my little stitched circle dies from my stash. I believe they're from Echo Park, along with my manual die cutting machine. I'm just going to run these through to create 2 circles, one for each card. And I'm going to place that down to my card bases using some of the 1/8 inch 3D foam tape. So it's one of the thicker foam tapes that we have in the Thermal Web shop, and I really love it for popping up elements such as this on cards. So I'm going to grab that here in a second. I've also grabbed my mixed media adhesive. I am favoring this adhesive lately. It's really, really nice to adhere little pieces. It actually adheres to non-porous surfaces as well. So if you're working with like metal or anything that's kind of harder to adhere, it's a really nice glue for things like that. I'm just using some easy tear tape here. I like the 1/2 inch size for this kind of stuff. And I've just attached my toner front card front to the front of my card base. And then here's my circle coming in with my foam tape, which I'm just going to use 3 strips there across the circle to get a nice good coverage on this. You'll want to make sure you use some junkier scissors for this, or clean them off with an alcohol pad afterwards to get the stickiness off, because foam tape does tend to gunk up your scissors. So I use the same scissors all the time for my foam tapes and foam squares when I'm cutting them, so that I make sure I'm not using my good ones on something like that, and then just clean off with an alcohol pad after. I have my little fence here that I've colored in also with my Copic markers. I wanted the one chicken to be kind of like down on the fence itself, and then the other one standing on the fence post. So that's why I kind of alternated them. The one kind of looks like in a downer kind of a mood. So I thought he's not going to be standing at the very top. He's going to be standing on the fence part, because he's kind of like down and out about it, or he looks kind of down. So I'm going to put him down further on the fence. So I'm doing basically the same thing with both of these cards, popping the middle circle up with that foam tape, and then just using that mixed media adhesive to adhere the little bits to the circle itself. So super, super easy. I love that easy tear tape. You can just kind of apply it where you want it and then rip it off. So you're just using the exact amount that you want to use. It's super easy to tear, and it has a really, really nice stick to it. It's double-sided tape. It is a strong adhesive. So if you are wanting something that's kind of removable, this is definitely not it, because if you try to remove it, it will probably rip your paper. So you don't want that. But if you want a nice strong hold, this is your kind of go-to double-sided adhesive. It works really nicely. So here are the finished cards. I really enjoyed making these. I cannot wait to give them out for birthdays this summer. I hope I've inspired you guys to create something, and I hope I've helped you learn how to foil today. So thank you guys so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.